Good morning, I'm in Tennyson, and before I tell you what this journey is about, I've got to get a new umbrella. This one just collapsed on me. Okay, well after a 45-minute detour on foot and a 4.5 kilometre round trip, I got an umbrella. Alright, back in Tennyson. In this video I'm going to be walking all the way from here through Graceville and Chelmer up to Indooroopilly. And it's not just because there's some very interesting local history in this area, including a few things people aren't really aware of. There's quite a bizarre link between Tennyson and Chelmer, one I didn't even know about until the other day, and I thought I've got to go out and find that link for myself. This park here, this Ken Fletcher Park, was once the site of the Tennyson power station. It was built in 1953 and closed in 1986, and it was derelict for a very long time. All right, let's go and take a look. A little bit of the old power station still here, one little brick bit. In its day, it was the largest power station in Queensland. And the opening scenes of the Scooby-Doo movie back in, I think it was 2002, were shot here at the Tennyson power station. So this is my very first visit here. I actually thought there'd be a little bit more in terms of ruins left behind, just as a memorial to what used to be here. This is all I can find so far. And there's some brickwork and stonework just down here, but I don't know what that was. So after it closed, this site was abandoned for many years, and although just like the old mental asylum over at Wacol, you can't stop people from going and having a look. So I think it was thousands of people broke into the old power station and sprayed graffiti and took mementos, but anyway, it was all demolished, and now this park is here right across the road from the tennis centre. Now there's a little information board here about the three castaways, Pamphlet, Parsons and Finnegan, who came through this area back in let me have a quick look, 1823. I'm going to talk more about them later in this trip. I've just turned onto Loftus Street, and there's not a great deal on here. It's a lot of industrial areas here. I've never been here before, but just down the road a little bit there's a very old school. I can't remember the date the school was founded. I'll put it just down there at the bottom of the screen. Today the school is a school dedicated to children with mental health need, and interestingly the school was first founded over at Wacol, you know, the mental asylum, the mental hospital that I visited a few weeks ago. So that was originally there, now it's here. Just passing the Austral Plywoods Pty Ltd. The smell of freshly cut timber is all over this place. Very nice. Oh wow, look at the big logs. Now just down below me there is the old Tennyson train station. It used to be called Softstone Pocket. It opened in 1884. And I was about to make comment that the station was closed to suburban rail traffic in 2011. I just got up to the top of this rail bridge, and there's a suburban train over there. No one's on it. I think they're just moving it from one train line to the other. The Ipswich line's over that way and the Beenleigh line is over there. But yeah, I felt a little bit embarrassed. I was about to say there's no suburban trains here, and there's a suburban train. Fancy that? I'm on the corner of Curzon and Walker Streets, and right across the road from me there, you can see it in the background there, that was the site of an Indigenous camp It was known as a dry season camp, which I guess it means it was probably occupied during the winter. Beyond it is a golf course, and I'll get back to the subject of golf courses later. The Indigenous camp that was there was recorded as being in existence up until the 1870s. The Brisbane Golf Club, reportedly the oldest golf club in Brisbane, but there's more to the story than that. Later on in this video I'll show you what I found about the true origins of this golf club. Actually, I've just snuck into the Brisbane Golf Club because I needed to use the men's room, and there it is there, so I know I shouldn't be here. Hello. Hello. How's it going? So I had to use the bathroom. I've just come around to the other side of the old train station, and there's some stairs here that you can still go down, so I'm going to go down them. So I left behind the golf club and the old power station, and now heading along this road. Wow. Wow. King Arthur Terrace, very nice houses along here. I should mention that this area was called Softstone Pocket, just like the train station was called that as well. This whole area was Softstone Pocket, named by James Strong, but it became named after Alfred Tennyson, the English poet laureate. Why they felt they needed to change the name from Softstone Pocket, which is a kind of a bizarre name anyway, to naming it after a poet, I'm not really sure. So what I'm doing now is heading down to Oxley Creek, to the mouth of the creek, and we'll have a chat about Thomas Pamphlet down there. They really lay it on thick with the Arthurian references around here. Just crossing Oxley Creek, or as it's known to the Indigenous peoples, Benarawa. I think that's the correct pronunciation. On this side of the creek here is Graceful. Very busy road here. And I'm going to show you something over here. Getting closer to the Thomas Pamphlet story. Here we are at the mouth of the Oxley Creek. Now this area is very important to the history of Brisbane because in 1823, three guys, Pamphlet, Parsons and Finnegan, got shipwrecked while they were in a small boat. They got blown out to sea from the Illawarra south of Sydney. They went out into the South Pacific, washed up on Moreton Island, and island hopped from Moreton Island across Peel Island and then onto the mainland. They followed the Brisbane River south all the way to this point right here. Pamphlet and his mates were over there, but what they wanted to do was get to over there. But the river is very wide and I think only Pamphlet could swim. But as luck would have it, they found an Aboriginal canoe just here. So Pamphlet swam across the mouth of the creek here, got the canoe, went back over there to get his friends, and then they rode over to the other side of the Brisbane River. And from there they walked all the way up through the CBD and New Farm and up through Pinkenbar and ended up at Bribie Island. The last time I was here was, I can't even remember how many years ago it was, but I was once for a while an associate producer on the Channel 7 show Great South East. And we came here to this park to do a story about Thomas Pamphlet. And it just so happens in the documentary we made for the show, I played the part of Thomas Pamphlet.
The Castaway's 9-month ordeal was over.
Oh, Thomas Pamphlet. John Oxley.
Banded Aboriginal canoe on the far bank.
I think I can swim across and get it. Right.
Being the only one swimmer, it fell to Pamphlet to cross the creek to retrieve the boat, giving the three passage across the river to Long Pocket.
So even today, this stretch of the Brisbane River is known as Canoe Reach in memory of the indigenous canoe that Pamphlet and his mates used to get across the Brisbane River. One of the benefits of going out on a weekday to shoot these videos, which I do sometimes, as in today, there's hardly anybody here. Oh, there's a magpie. There's a guy jogging up ahead. I'm going to wait to see if any magpies attack him. So here at the sports fields at Chelmer, this was originally a very big lagoon, and in the centre of the lagoon was something known as, and I can't quite get my head around what this is, but it's described as a floating borer ring. Now my understanding of a borer ring is an earthen bank, a circular earthen bank, or maybe two of them with an interconnecting path. But the lagoon that was here, it had a floating borer ring. The lagoon was eventually filled in, and in the 1940s it became a rubbish dump. So there's really nothing left of what it used to be back when it was a ceremonial ground. I do actually have a photograph of the area. This is the only one I could find. Apparently that's Oxley Road, cutting right through or certainly past the lagoon. Now just up there is Chelmer train station. And the original Chelmer train station was actually known as Oxley Point train station, built in 1876, and it was built a little bit further north than where the current station now is. And then in 1881, a little siding for the Oxley Point train station was built here, where the Chelmer train station is now. In 1888, Oxley Point station became known as Riverton train station. 1889, the station was closed, and the siding became the actual station, Chelmer station, which we still use today. Now that I'm here in Chelmer, I can tell you about the strange connection between Chelmer and Tennyson. And that connection is just around the corner on Hurlton Street. This is Honor Avenue. The very first Brisbane golf course was founded here in 1897, and that house just behind me, part of that house, incorporates the original clubhouse. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this part of the house towards the back is the old golf clubhouse. So the golf course here at Chelmer was in operation only until 1903, when it was moved down to its current place at Tennyson. So it's the same company, but this is where they were first. So all of this area here, where I'm walking now, this is a very beautiful area, all of this was the golf course. And since I'm in the area, I may as well pop around the corner and show you this. This is an old police academy. It was in operation from 1970 until about 2012, I think. Magnificent old house. They're all magnificent around here. Nearing the end of the journey, I'm just now looking for the walk bridge over the Brisbane River next to the Walter Taylor Bridge. Crossing over the Brisbane River now, there it is. So it looks like there's two rail bridges here, and then on the far left side, on the west side, is Walter Taylor Bridge. And I think everybody in Brisbane knows this, but in the past, up until quite recently, some families would live up in the bridge. Now this bridge here, this walk bridge, is the latest addition to the bridges across the Brisbane River here at Indooroopilly and Chelmer. And up ahead of me I can see Indooroopilly. When I was in my late teens, I worked at Myer at Indooroopilly Shopping Centre in the audio-visual department, TVs and VCRs and CD players as they were back then. Okay, approaching Indooroopilly. All it needs to do now is just get on a train and go home. Thanks very much for watching the video. I had a great time making this one. If you like the video, please consider liking the video by pressing the like button. If you like my channel, it'd be great if you could subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I'll see you again on the next walk.